Welcome to the Women Talk podcast, where ordinary women share their extraordinary stories. We would love for you to share your story on our podcast. Go to www.womentalk.ca and apply to share your story. And now let's welcome your host, founder, and CEO of Women Talk, Bridget Lessard-Diel.
Welcome back to the Women Talk Show, where women make their communities stronger, one story at a time. Today my guest is Sabita Poudel, an immigrant from Nepal who moved to Medicine Hat, Alberta. Now her story is very special to me for two reasons. The first is of course her immigrant story, how difficult it is to move to a new part of the world where you do not speak the language or know anything about the culture. The second part of her story that was very interesting to me is how she discovered the power of her thoughts. Like many women from a third world country, personal growth was not something she was aware of. And after a suicide attempt, she went on a journey of personal growth and discovered the power of her thoughts and the power of positive thinking. One of my favorite sayings she shares is, "Thoughts are like clouds in the sky. They come and they go." Now let's listen to Sabita's story.
I'm going to share my personal story today. I am going to talk about how our mind works. After I started understanding my mind and its thought, my life changed. My life became very easier than before. For example, I get various types of thoughts in a single day. Some are positive and some are negative. Negative thoughts says, "You cannot do this, you are dumb, unlucky, you don't have a skill and knowledge." And then I absorb those thoughts and say, "It is just thought only. Why would I care? This is nothing to do with me in real." Like clouds moving around the sky, our thoughts also come and go. Let negative thoughts pass by in a single day. Many thoughts come and go, let it go. And this is me right now, but before, my situation was very different. I used to have negative thoughts in mind, but the difference is that I used to focus in negative thoughts and made negative thoughts real. For example, I used to feel I cannot do this, I am unlucky, and then I get worried, cried, eyes were swollen, and could not go to college, office, and I lived a very crappy, depressed life. Eventually, what I did was I made my negative thoughts in real. So, this was me before, but now I understand my thought. I know what is real and I know what is real. I mean that I have to understand my negative thoughts and then I have to let it go and use my own innate wisdom. So, understanding of mind solves all the personal problem as well as the problem of this world. I wish I would have known this understanding many years back so that I would not have lived very depressed and frustrated life. One time, suicidal thought came to my mind and I focused on it and I made it real. By then, I did not know that our thought could be harmful and sometimes helpful as well. And we have to realize and understand those thoughts. So, what if I would have thought that these are my feelings for this moment, this will pass and another thought will come. And as I said earlier, like clouds in the sky, it comes and goes and the sky becomes clear again.
Do you want more out of Women Talk? Sign up for our Women Talk membership today. Receive discounts at all of our live events, talk on more stages, receive free monthly webinars, or host a webinar yourself. Join this powerful sisterhood we call Women Talk. Visit womentalk.ca/membership.
So you're from Nepal?
Yes, yeah.
And when did you move to Canada?
I moved to Canada 5 years back.
5
5
years?
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what took you to Canada? Why did you come to Canada?
In search of good opportunity for my daughter and for our family, we came to Canada.
Tell me what's different between the Nepal women and the Canadian women. What's the biggest difference that you see between the two cultures for women?
There are few differences in the culture. In terms of culture, in Nepal, women are supposed to be kind of stay at home and then do whatever other people say to her, like a way to listen to father, listen to brother, listen to husband. They have less rights than in Canada, and also women are more focused on I would say to cultural religious things. So they have more time spending going temples and rituals, and they give less time for themselves.
Do you practice any religion?
Actually, coming to this point, I think that I respect all the religion, and, and uh, as a religion, I am a Hindu. I am Hindu because I born in Hindu family, and but to be honestly, I don't practice, but I respect all the religion.
Like many of us, I was born in a Catholic family, so
Yeah.
technically I am Catholic, but I do not practice either. I don't practice any religion.
And yeah, but I'm interested to learn all the religion. How do they practice?
I
It's
know
an
they
interesting topic
fascinate.
for me.
Yeah, like religion fascinates me. There are so many wonderful things about religion, and there are a few ugly things as well.
Yes, yeah. And we have to take the good things in all the religions and unfollow the bad things of all the religions.
Yeah, like take the good out of all of them.
Yes, yeah.
I think that's a great way to live.
Yeah.
So tell me, what brought you to this enlightenment of positive thinking? Was it something in particular that happened in your life, or was it slowly? Like, how did you get to that place where you realize how powerful your thoughts could be and how you can actually control them?
Actually, yes, you are right. In past time, something happened to me. There was one event occurred to me that I tried to kill myself. I tried to do suicide, taking pills. So, fortunately, maybe those pills were expired. It did not affect me physically,
Oh, wow.
but
Talk about not being your day.
yeah, but that has already affected me mentally.
Hmm.
And I thought that why did I do suicide? I did not have any answer at that time. What is the reason? And I kind of understood that due to stress, I was living very stressful life that time, and I always used to have like negative thoughts. I am unlucky. No one cares me. No one loves me. And I would think about those negative thoughts, days and night, cried hours and days, and my eyes were got swollen. Could not go to like office, and I was also working, and so I could not go to office also. So, and that made me. That was my life that time, and
Now,
even
was that when you were in Canada or were you still in Nepal?
it was when I was in Nepal. It was
Yeah.
around 2010. I was working, I was studying, I had a small daughter, and then we had a large extended family, in-laws family. So many things going outside and inside house and in my mind. So
Do you think Do you think the fact that you were in Nepal and women are restricted a lot more, it's I think when you're in a restrictive environment, it's hard to bloom and let all this amazingness inside come out because there's things that are expected of you. Do you think that was a factor or it was?
That Yeah, that was also a kind of factor, but I would think this is more related with education too. We usually learn to get job, to get money, but we don't get education how to deal without stress, how to deal when something goes wrong.
Yeah,
So yeah,
so is that so in Canada, in North America right now, self-growth is
mm,
a big thing. Everybody learns about these kinds
mm,
of things.
yeah.
Is there anything like that happening in Nepal? Like, did you find any? Like, is it a movement in Nepal as well?
Um, I was a science student that time, so I just learned textbook and passed the exam. So I did not have any external information and knowledge outside of my textbook, like biology, math, and science, physics, chemistry. I just learned that. Till that time, I did not know that there are some self-help books, and there are so much spiritual knowledge there too. But being a woman, we don't have time. We have a kid and job and in-laws family, and then they are and so many negative things they are talking, and we are kind of involved in those talking, and we don't have time or we don't have understanding to know that we have to give some time to ourselves to understand what is
Mm.
going inside us.
So by moving to Canada and shrinking your family,
Yes.
because you have a lot less people here,
Yeah.
do you find that that has helped you bloom and become?
Yeah, that's very true, because I had a lot of time now for me to understand my mind and myself. Um, Compared to in Nepal, we have to always there is something gathering going on. So many religious days there were, so we have to always gathering, cooking and cleaning, and I never had time to realize realize about me and my thought. So after coming Canada, it is a great opportunity to spend time with me myself.
Now,
So
did your husband and the rest of your family move with you, or are you here
yes,
by
yeah, they
yourself?
also moved with me. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Wonderful. And so, do you have any mentors? How did you study all of this self-empowerment and about negative thoughts and?
Yes, you asked a very good question. I was about to tell the same thing. I am working as a settlement counselor. It means we have to deal with immigrant and refugee population at office. So, and in that time, I got opportunity to take some training program, and also I kind of started learning self-help motivational book. The first book I learned was Robin Sharma. It is about discovering your discovering your identity. I forgot the total name of the book, but it was written by Robin Sharma. That changed my perspective towards my life. And the next book was Finding Your Element by Sir Ken Robinson from UK. He is from UK. That book changed the towards the education. What is the meaning of education? It is not education doesn't mean only to earn money, but to enjoy life by earning money.
Yeah, I think our society is starting to learn this. To be
Yeah.
successful is not only equal to the size of your bank account.
Yes, yeah. And also I am learning online from a life coach. He's from UK, Jamie Smart. Yeah, and I got introduced to the three principles like mind, thought, and consciousness. The person bring out this understanding is Sydney Bank. He's from I think from Canada, BC, and also he's kind of related with the UK as well.
Tell me a little bit about the life of an immigrant in Medicine Hat, because I believe there's quite a few immigrants that moved there for work, isn't there?
Yes, yeah, yeah. So we have a lot of immigrant population here. This time we have a immigrant from refugee from Syria. Before that, we have from Bhutan, from Nepal. from Nepal. They speak the same language as I speak, first language. And we have other from Philippines, from Thailand. We have a lot of population here.
So, the refugee from Nepal, why are they refugees? What's going on there that they moved and they become refugees?
Um, I think it was 20 years ago. The people speaking Nepali in Bhutan, they they were uh, how we say they were not allowed to live in Bhutan. They have to exile the Bhutan and they get refuge in Nepal. And those are the population coming here to Canada.
Oh, I see. And did you speak English before you moved here?
Will yes, yeah, not it was not our first language. Sometimes we had some textbooks like one textbook in each year.
And was that a challenge for you when you got here, or were you able to communicate enough to be employed?
It was very challenging first time, especially the written English when I have to communicate with my coworker. It took a long time for me to write an email.
And I totally understand this because I grew up speaking French only.
Yeah,
And at the age of 17, I moved to the English part of Canada, not being able to communicate with anyone.
yeah.
Now, tell me, what do you like about public speaking? Because you're going to be a talker at Women Talk. So, what is it that is calling you to become a speaker?
The main thing is that uh, which thing made my life easier because I was living a very stressful life before, and now I'm living a very simple and easy life. So how did I got change those type of an understanding of mind and thought? I would like to share with more people so that their life become easier, so that their life transform from very stressful and depressed life to a very easy life. We need more, I think we need more investment on this mind and consciousness than
Oh,
technology.
I agree. I agree. And I must tell you, your image of thoughts being like clouds that they eventually blow away and it changes, like that is beautiful. I love it. One of my favorite saying is this too shall pass.
Yes, yeah.
And
But I
that
did not know that before. I like for 20, like 30 years, I cried and cried, and I did not know that. I wish I would have known this understanding way more before then. My life would have been very easy that time.
yeah. And how many children do you have?
I have one daughter,
You have one, and how old is she?
16.
16. Oh, that's a great age. And um, how is your daughter being? Has she been back to Nepal? Or well, I guess she would have because she was born in Nepal.
Yes, she was born in Nepal. We came here when she was 12 years old. So,
How is she adjusting to a complete change of culture and not having a lot of immediate family?
yeah, it was very hard when we first arrived here. She had the culture shock, and our family went through hard time. Even she attempted a kind of suicidal thinking. She kind
Mm,
of scratched her nerve here.
on her
Um,
wrists.
yes, yeah. So it was very hard because there was a difference in culture, and she did not have friends.
Yeah, she didn't
So
fit in.
yeah, so that made me to learn more and more this inspiring and motivational talk and book and
Trying to help your daughter was
yeah,
actually
yeah,
pushing you towards self-growth.
yeah. And
Yeah.
now, yeah, that's very true. So now our relation is really good, but before we had a lot of fight and we slamming the door, yelling and shouting and not eating food for a few days.
Well, I think that's like the teenage life, but
Yeah,
I can completely see how difficult that would be because I know for me, I was 17. So the culture shock, the language shock, the religious, when you move from, it's hard as an adult. I can't, it's even harder for kids. How about your husband? How is he adjusting to the Canadian life?
um, Honestly, he's really having hard time still now because he did not get the job. He got education back in Nepal. He tried, but he's still struggling till
It,
this time.
it's hard, yeah, when
Yeah,
you move and the language and the culture.
yeah, no
Uh,
family, and yeah.
what has been the most positive thing about leaving your family behind and moving to Canada?
I think I got. Um, I think I grew a lot after coming here. I learned a lot, and I am not living a stressful life right now. So that is kind of, for me, it is um, great opportunity, I would say.
Yeah. Now, if you had one advice for people who suffer from depression and negative thoughts, what would it be?
The best thing when we are going through hard time is the more we get depressed and going through hard time, we need to learn more about inspiring books. We need to listen to more motivational videos that help us a lot. And also, we have to understand our thought when we get angry. So we need to realize that, okay, I am angry right now. So if when we are the time when we understand that we are angry, our angriness reduces 50% just by understanding,
Oh, that's a fascinating number. And you know what? I can totally see it. Just understanding and
realizing.
acknowledging the
Yeah,
anger
yeah.
or the depression. Well, it was wonderful talking with you, Sabina, and I hope to make it when you are speaking, when you are talking in Women Talk Medicine Hat, and I hope to meet you in person very soon. Thank you for your wonderful story and your advice.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
If you have a burning desire to share your story with our audience, apply to be on our podcast. To apply and find a full list of our podcasts, go to www.womentalk.ca.